Today, let's talk about sharps and flats. In music, there's a group of symbols called accidentals, and when these symbols are placed before a note on the staff, it alters or changes the pitch in some way. Let's talk about two of the most common accidentals, sharps and flats. A sharp looks like this. You may notice that it looks like a pound sign, a number sign, or a hashtag, which I definitely know all about because I am very hip. I even have a certificate to prove it. When a sharp is placed before a note on the staff, that raises the note by a half step, which means that it makes the pitch sound higher. A flat looks like this and resembles a lowercase b. When you see a flat written before a note, that lowers the note by a half step or makes the pitch sound lower. For an easy visual demonstration, let's check out how sharps and flats are played on the piano. This note here is a G. In the music, if there is a sharp placed before the note, making it a G sharp, it is now played a half step higher, which is the very next note, whether it be a black or white note, to the right, or going up the piano. If that same G has a flat written before it in the music, we call it a G flat, and it is now played a half step lower on the very next piano key to the left, or going down the piano. One more fun fact. The same key on the piano can be a sharp or a flat. For example, this note here is both a D sharp, since it's a half step higher or to the right of D, but it's also an E flat, since it's a half step lower or to the left of E. Music is fun. And that's today's mini music class. What's a key signature? Let's find out. A key signature is a set of sharps or flats that are placed at the beginning of a piece of music on the staff. It's located between the clef and the time signature. A key signature tells you which notes in the music are played as sharps or flats throughout the piece. There can be from 0 up to 7 sharps or flats in a key signature, and they're always kept separate. Certain keys contain sharps in the key signature, and certain keys contain flats in the key signature. These accidentals aren't just randomly placed on the lines and spaces, they always appear in the same order. For sharps, that order is F, C, G, D, A, E, and then B. And for flats, they always show up in this order: B, E, A, D, G, C, and then F. The specific number of sharps and flats we see in the key signature tell us what key the music is in. Look for videos on that coming soon. So what's a key, you ask? Simply put, the key of a piece of music, like the key of C or the key of F, tells us what note the entire piece of music is pretty much based around and is typically the first pitch you hear in the music as well as the final one. Finding out what key a piece is in is important for the musician because it tells them what note is the tonic or home note and gives them other important information about the structure of the music. One more thing about key signatures. Remember how on the staff there are several of each letter name? The accidentals in the key signature apply to all notes of that name, no matter where they're written on the staff. For example, when an F sharp is in the key signature in this line of music, you play an F sharp, whether it's the one located on the bottom space or on the top line, where you see the sharp sign written in the key signature. Any F you come across, no matter where it's written, is automatically played as an F sharp, unless, of course, a natural sign cancels it out. And that's today's mini music class. Today, let's learn how to identify key signatures. We are going to focus on the key signatures that contain sharps and how to find out what key a particular piece of music is in from the key signature. A key signature can contain from 0 up to 7 sharps in it, and they always show up in this order: F, C, G, D, A, E, then B sharp. We use a simple two-step process in order to find what key the music is in by looking at the key signature, and let's do that now. No matter how many sharps there are written in the key signature, step 1 is to always go to the last one, the rightmost sharp of the group. Then, step 2 is to raise that final sharp up a half step, and voila, you've found the major key. Let's look at a few examples. This key signature has 4 sharps in it: F, C, G, and D. Head to the final sharp, which is D sharp, and then go up a half step. The note a half step higher than D sharp is E, so that's the major key we're in for this piece. This key signature has 2 sharps in it, F and C. Since the last sharp is a C sharp, you move up a half step from that, and now you know that the key of this music is in D major. One more. This key signature has 5 sharps in it: F, C, G, D, and A. The final sharp is A sharp, so moving up a half step from there takes us to B, so this piece is in B major. I just showed you how to find the key of the music if that piece of music is in major. But what if a piece of music is in a minor key? The key signatures still look the same, but the way we find the key contains one additional step. You still go to the last sharp, then move up a half step to find the major key. However, after that, you move down 3 half steps. This will take you to what's called the relative minor key. Let me demonstrate. This key signature has one sharp, F sharp. Since that's the last sharp in the group, we move up a half step to figure out that the key signature is G major. But if the piece is in minor, which we would know from other clues in the music, we then move down 3 half steps from G and get the answer we're looking for. This piece is in E minor. Let's figure out what minor key this is in. 6 sharps, so we go to the last one, E sharp, and then take it up a half step, which means we are in F sharp major. But we're not done. We want to find the minor key, so we move down 3 half steps from F sharp, which means that this is a piece in D sharp minor. There will be a quiz on this soon. Yay! Oh, and one more thing. Remember how I said that there could be 0 sharps in the key signature? You may have been wondering how in the world you tell the key if there are no sharps to raise a half step. In this case, you just have to memorize that when you see no sharps in the key signature, the key is C major or going down 3 half steps in A minor. And that's today's mini music class. Mini music class. Let's learn how to identify flat key signatures. A key signature tells us what accidentals will be played in a particular piece of music, sharps or flats. They're never combined in a single key signature. When looking at a key signature that contains from 0 up to 7 flats, they are always listed in the same order: B, E, A, D, G, C, then F flat. Here's the very simple process of how to find what flat major key a piece of music is in. Step 1. Go to the second to last flat in the key signature. Step 2. Identify what line or space that flat is on, and voila! You've successfully identified the major key. Let's check out 3 examples. This key signature contains 4 flats. Go to the second to last flat, which is on the second space going up, the A space, which means that this major key is A flat. This key signature contains 2 flats. The second to last flat is on the third line, the B line, which means that this is the key of B flat major. This key signature has 7 flats. The second to last flat is on the third space going up, meaning that this piece is in C flat major. To find the minor key, we add the same additional step that we did in the sharp key signatures. Take the major key note and lower it by 3 half steps. Let's practice finding 2 minor keys. This key signature has 3 flats. The major key is found by looking at the second to last flat, E flat. Now, take that E flat down 3 half steps, and you've just found the minor key. This piece is in C minor. This key signature contains 6 flats. The major key is found by identifying the second to last flat, G flat. Take that G flat down 3 half steps, and now you know that this is the key signature of E flat minor. Side note, since this note can either be an E flat or a D sharp, how do we know which name to use for the minor key we just found? When the key signature uses flats, that's the one you go with. When it uses sharps, you go with the sharp name. We need at least 2 flats to be able to find the key signature using the steps I just taught you, but there are key signatures that contain either 0 or 1 flat. These simply need to be memorized. A key signature that contains 0 flats is the key of C major, or going down 3 half steps, A minor. And a key signature that contains only 1 flat is the key of F major, or down 3 half steps, the key of D minor. And that's today's mini music class. Mini music class. Mini music class.